It's been a while since I bought a drum kit. If you follow my channel, you know I already have way too many already. But I just got this used kit off of Guitar Center. They're nothing high end at all, but they're made in Taiwan. It's Canon Percussion. On the bass drum it says Mega on the mount. I thought that was kind of cool looking. The shells on the interior are I'm not sure what kind of wood, but they look like a nicer type wood. They have the potential to sound great just as any drum if you put good heads on it and you know how to tune it. But I thought it was kind of interesting. It has a wrap, but the lug still had a little gasket that went in there, and I thought about not using them once I rewrap them, but then I thought about it some more, and they probably will make the spacing different if I don't use them for the screws, and I don't want them to bottom out and mess up that part. And also they may give it more resonance, I don't know, probably not enough to be able to hear a difference, but I decided to reuse those once I rewrap it. The lugs actually did have foam on the inside where the spring is, which I thought was kind of interesting because most really cheap kits don't. It's a 10 lug bass drum, which you don't see too much in the 80s Taiwan kits. Even you know, like the Pearl Exports and other drum sets like that were coming out at the time only had 8 lugs, so I thought that was kind of cool. The bass drum spurs were missing the feet on them, and I had some floor tom leg feet that I was able to put on there. They're not going to be able to be adjustable anymore because of the way I put them on, but I was able to use a cymbal sleeve inside of the feet and get them to tighten up to where they're not coming off. Like I said, they're not adjustable, but it saved me from having to try to find some to replace it with, which, you know, wouldn't be too expensive, but trying to find the right ones and all that, I just figured I would use what I had. So I'm going to get the drum set re-wrapped. I'm using some fabric that I've not used before from Fabric Empire, vinyl fabric, to re-wrap these. It says it has a little bit of a stretch to it, so I'm hoping it will work well. Like I said, the other fabric I've used has not had any stretch, so we'll see how it works. But it looks like a pretty cool color. It's black, but it has a bunch of different specks of color that will show up in different lighting, so I'm looking forward to that. I may go back around the bearing edges with some sandpaper to smooth it down. Something I noticed first thing on this drum set were the lugs, and they almost look like an exact replica of the Tama Rockstar lug, but they have I believe 4 lines. This has 3, and on the Tama it stops here and these continue. But that made me think, oh, it's a Tama, and then I looked closer and I was like, it's not, but it's a really close replica. On the lugs, I just use this awesome spray with a rag. Of course, on the rustier parts, you may have to use a really fine grit steel wool. Something I haven't done in the past is do a clear coat over this vinyl fabric, but it seems to work fine. Just do some light coats around it, and it may give you a little extra protection against scratches. I don't know how effective it will be, but it didn't seem to have any bad effects on the fabric at all. Well, I added a fresh coat of paint to these hoops, and I noticed there was some orange in it, so I'm thinking these probably didn't come with wood hoops and somebody added them on. Well, I got the kit wrapped. Some of it's not perfect. There's a little bit of bulging. That's my fault for not cutting it straight probably, but this thinner material is a little less forgiving than the thicker star gem, large star gem wrap. But you can't really see it here, but the sparkles have a bunch of different colors in the light. But I think it turned out pretty good. Got the kit set up and it sounds great. Didn't really have to do much to the tuning. It's hard to see the different colored sparkles unless you move it around. I think you can see it on the camera here pretty good, but really liking it. I'm surprised by how easy it was to tune up, and it just sounds great. I'll do a proper demo at some point to let you hear how it sounds.